If the world's too loud, he cuts it down to the subtle. So turn that dial, 'cause you know who's talking. Ooh, if there's truth in the static, Tom Gulley, from where you're looking. Ooh, you gotta dial G for Gulley. 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 You gotta dial G for Gulley.
When the daylight's fading and the world feels wrong, there's a voice on the airwaves, steady and strong. From the heart of the internet's wild frontier, Tom Gulley's talking, pull up a chair. He's got stories, he's got takes, he's got calls rolling in. From the tales of the weird to the shape of a spin. If you're tired of the noise and the nonsense online, there's a seat in the Gullyverse. Come take your time. The show must go on. The show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dust to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. He's the radio outlaw with a charm so sly. A storyteller's cadence and a wink in his eye. From the ghosts in the attic to the news of the day, Tom breaks it all down in his signature way. He's the king of the ramble, the lord of the yarn. He'll take you from evening straight through to dawn. With callers so strange you'd swear they're a bit, but Tom never wavers, he just rolls with it. The show must go on, the show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dust to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. So grab your Dr. Pepper and settle in tight. Tom's firing up the airwaves tonight. Where the chaos of calm, he keeps steering the ship with a quip, a riff, and that Gulley grip. The show must go on. The show must go on. Through the static and storms, every dusk, every dawn. From the heart of the net to the edge of beyond. The Tom Gulley Show lives on. Yes, the show must go on. It was late one evening, smooth and mellow and sweet. Tom Gulley on the airwaves, laying down that beat. He heard a little rustle, tapping soft and discreet. Turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. But with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night.
everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking? Tonight, let me tell you about William Castle, probably the greatest promoter and exploitation film director, producer of all time. We'll get into all the crazy things he did. Did some crazy, crazy things. They've actually remade several of his films over the last few years, and we're going to get into all of it. Don't worry about it. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, do all those absolutely freebie things you can do. Only cost you a click that help us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing algorithm. We got super chats. We got memberships. We got gifted memberships. We got the PayPal. That's the best way, you know. That's, you give the most, I get the most. Google don't get nothing. Bupkis. And we like that. So take advantage of that. Also, the merch store is open at the TomGulleyShow.com. And if you go to the TomGulleyShow.com, you will see that we are converting many of our most popular video shows into audio-only podcasts. A lot of people, they just like the audio. They're audio folks. And so we're converting those. Can you dig it? You got to love that. You just got to love it. Anyway, we do have some people here in our chat room. Sky is here. He says, H2BH, happy to be here. Jared's here. He says the same thing. He promises tonight to dial G, not T for Gully. He also says that new song, On the Night the Spiders Attacked, which could be the title of a William Castle film. He did a big movie about insects. I'll tell you about it in just a second. He says that song is De Shiznit. And it is. Thank you, Leon Kennedy. Chef is here in the house. He is a real chef. Sky says, Gully Gang. Jean1313 is here. She says, hey, Mr. Gully and the Gully Gang. Hello to you, Jean. Nice to see you. Let's get started. William Castle, American film director, producer, screenwriter, actor. He did it kind of all. Directed horror and thriller movies in the 50s and 60s. He actually did way more than that. He was known for these insane promotional gimmicks. I'm going to tell you about a whole bunch of them here in a second. He's also the guy that produced the movie Rosemary's Baby, which, if you're a horror fan, you probably have seen Rosemary's Baby. He was born in New York City, the son of Sadie Schnellenberg and Walter Schloss. His mother died when he was 9. His father died when he was 11. Yeah, he's an orphan. So he lived with his older sister. Now, Schloss is German for castle. So for showbiz purposes, he translated that into William Castle. At 13 years of age, he saw the play Dracula with Bela Lugosi, and he couldn't get enough of it. Transfixed. Watched it over and over and over again, eventually managing to meet Bela Lugosi himself. And he writes in his autobiography, a book I have but couldn't find for the beginning of this show, his autobiography, Step Right Up, I'm going to Scare the Pants Off America. He says, I knew then what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to scare the pants off of audiences, and he kind of succeeded. Bela Lugosi was so impressed with this youngster, he recommended him for the position of assistant stage manager for the road company tour of the play. So, 15 years of age, he drops out of high school, takes the job, and spent his teenage years working on Broadway in a variety of jobs, set building, acting, everything in between. And that, he said, was great training for his future as a filmmaker. Let me just, before we get too much further along, Let me show you a video clip here real quick. The sound might be a little low, thank you, StreamYard, but this might give you an idea of who and what William Castle really was all about. Come on.
For years, I have searched for a unique way whereby a motion picture audience can actually decide the climax of a picture. I have found such a way. My latest picture, Mr. Sardonicus, offers something no audience has ever had before: the power to determine the fate of a character on the screen, the power to punish. In ancient Rome, spectators could decree life or death to a gladiator by indicating thumbs up or thumbs down. During the French Revolution, the mobs could condemn a man by merely shouting, "To the guillotine." In the early West, vigilantes took the law into their own hands. Today, for the first time, the awful power to punish will be yours. After you see the evil events that made Mr. Sardonicus what he was, you will decide what should be done to him. You will now see some scenes from the picture. The face of Mr. Sardonicus will not be shown because I realize that some people in this audience might be adversely affected by it. Those of you who come to see Mr. Sardonicus will understand why.
Anyway, that's a little bit of William Castle and the dude that he was. Here he is at Columbia Pictures. I'm going to get to this in just a second, in 1946. But he left for Hollywood at the age of 23 to work for the legendary Harry Kahn at Columbia Pictures. He began as a dialogue director for a film called Music in My Heart, which starred Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, look her up. Va, 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 voom. Yes, and he and several others, Fred Sears, who's a famous director, Mel Ferrer, who was a actor, director, producer, and had big hits with Scaramouche and Knights of the Round Table. Henry Levin, who directed Journey to the Center of the Earth and Where the Boys Are. Robert Gordon, who was like a child actor that became a big director. Though that group was kind of picked as feature film directors, and so he was part of this kind of vanguard of movie directors at Columbia. In the 2007 documentary about William Castle called Spine Tingler, the William Castle story, his daughter said that he had just this dynamic, outgoing personality that attracted people. Harry Kahn didn't like anybody, but he liked William Castle. So he learns the film business at Columbia Pictures and eventually graduates to directing inexpensive B movies, his first being The Chance of a Lifetime in 1943, starring Chester Morris, who was kind of a B-movie actor himself. He directed 4 movies in a series called The Whistler. Now, these movies were extremely popular for 2 reasons. They were really good movies, but also The Whistler was an extremely popular radio program at the time. And in doing this, he got a reputation for making films very fast and under budget. He also was an associate producer on the legendary Orson Welles film, The Lady from Shanghai. And he did much of the second location direction and work himself. So he's gaining a name. He's obviously very successful in Hollywood. And at a certain point, he decides, I want to make my own movies. I want to be an independent. So his first movie was called Macabre, or Macabre, and it starred, of all people, Jim Backus. Yeah, Mr. Howell himself, who at the time was a dramatic actor. It's a horror suspense movie, and he mortgaged his house to do this. He came up with the idea, and this is you're gonna see a lot of stuff like this as we talk about William Castle. He gave every customer a certificate for a $1,000 life insurance policy from Lloyd's of London in case they should die of fright during the film. So imagine you're going in to see this movie, and anyway. He also stationed nurses in the lobbies and parked hearses outside the theaters. Well, this film was a hit, a big hit. Now, other films and gimmicks that followed, were The House on Haunted Hill. As you can see, Vincent Price, you might not be able to see it. Let me make it a little bigger. Vincent Price is in this one. He used Vincent Price several times. He was a Vincent Price fan. Doopa-doopa-doo is here. Good to see you. Yeah, thanks for being here. He had this thing where, at the time, Panavision, or the kind of way that you filmed a movie, Panavision, color vision, this vision, that vision, Technicolor was a big deal. He filmed this one in Emergo, whatever that was. During The House on Haunted Hill, a skeleton with red lighted eye sockets was attached to kind of a wire, and it would float over the audience in the final moments of selected showings of the film to kind of imitate what was going on screen when a skeleton rises from a vat of acid and pursues the evil wife of Vincent Price's character. Once word of this spread, news about the skeleton, kids enjoyed trying to knock it down with candy boxes, soda cups, or anything else they had. And he was all in favor of that. He's like, yeah, the more crazy and into it they get, the better it is for the movie. Dupa says the promotion for Mr. Sardonicus was brilliant and so ahead of its time. Dupa, I'm sorry that you weren't here right at the start. Maybe you were, but I actually played the trailer for Mr. Sardonicus, where William Castle actually talks about all of the ingenious ideas that he had for the promotion of that film. Now, another biggie for him, with Vincent Price, of course, was The Tingler. The Tingler, 1959. This one was filmed in Percepto. Okay, so the title character of the movie is this creature that attaches itself to someone's spinal cord, its victim's spinal cord. And the Tingler is activated by fright, when you're scared, and it can only be destroyed by screaming your head off. Now, William Castle purchased a whole bunch of these military surplus airplane wing de-icers, which had vibrating motors to knock the ice off the wings. And he had a crew travel from theater to theater, attaching these vibrating things to the undersides of various seats in the theater. And he could do this because in that time, a movie didn't necessarily open on one night across the whole nation. It kind of opened in waves. So in the finale of the movie, one of the creatures is said to have gotten loose in the movie theater itself. He was kind of famous for breaking the fourth wall that way. The buzzers were then activated as Vincent Price, star of the film, warns audiences, scream, scream for your lives. Filmmaker and William Castle fan John Waters You guys know John Waters, don't you? Pink Flamingos. I guess he also did Hairspray and some other things. He recounts in that documentary, Spine Tingler, how when he was a kid, he would search for the seat that had been wired so he could get jolted and enjoy the absolute full effect of what was going on there. Oh, yes, he did that. He did that. By the way, here's Percepto. Do you have the guts to sit in this chair? Can you take Percepto? Can you take it when the Tingler breaks loose? He was always daring audiences, you know. Can you hold up to these scares? Yeah, here's another William Castle thing. He was very popular as he was almost like an Alfred Hitchcock. You know, a William Castle movie meant something, right? He did a movie called 13 Ghosts, and I think they may have remade this one. It was filmed in Illusiono. It's just crazy names. Each moviegoer received a handheld ghost viewer or remover, okay? And during certain parts of the movie, a person could see the ghosts by looking through the red cellophane or hide them by looking through the blue cellophane. Now, without this viewer, the ghosts were only somewhat visible. The DVD release included red and blue glasses, not 3D as some people thought, to replicate that effect, okay? In 1961, he made Homicidal. And during this movie, there was what they called a fright break. As you can see at the top of this particular, if you're watching and not listening to the audio version, a fright break with a timer overlaid on the film's climax as the heroine of the movie approaches a house that's got this sadistic evil killer in it. So the audience had 45 seconds to get a full refund if they were too scared to see the rest of the movie. So in an early showing, smart people simply sat through the movie a second time because they would show back to back and left at the break to get their money back. So to prevent this, William Castle had different colored tickets printed for each showing. So you couldn't watch it once and then on the second one ask for your money back because you'd have the wrong colored ticket. About 1% of patrons demanded refunds. John Waters describes another element of this movie. He said William Castle simply went nuts. He came up with Coward's Corner. Coward's Corner, a yellow cardboard booth manned by a bewildered theater employee in the lobby. When the fright break was announced and you found you couldn't take it anymore, you had to leave your seat in front of the entire audience, follow yellow footsteps up the aisle, bathed in yellow light. Before you reached the Coward's Corner, you crossed yellow lines with the stenciled message, "Cowards keep walking." You passed a nurse who would offer a blood pressure test. All the while, a recording was blaring, "Watch the chicken, watch him shiver in the Coward's Corner." As the audience went crazy, you had to go through one final indignity. At the Coward's Corner, you were forced to sign a yellow card stating, "I am a bona fide coward." In the trailer for this movie, William Castle explained the use of the coward certificate and admonished the viewer not to reveal the ending to friends or they will kill you. If they don't, I will. We saw the trailer for Mr. Sardonicus, where the audience could vote on the villain's fate in a punishment poll during the climax. William Castle himself appeared on screen to explain two options. Each member of the audience was given a card with glow-in-the-dark thumb they could hold up or down to decide if Mr. Sardonicus should be cured or should die. Supposedly, no audience ever chose mercy, so the alternate ending was never screened. At the drive-in versions, drivers were asked to flash their car headlights to choose. 13 Frightened Girls was another movie that he did. I mean, with a title like that. He launched and publicized a worldwide casting hunt for the prettiest girls from 13 different countries. And he filled slightly different versions highlighting each girl for the release in their country. Just a shameless promoter. Straight Jacket in 1964, he had some financial backers that said, get rid of your gimmicks. You got to get rid of the gimmicks. And he hired Joan Crawford, legendary actress, Academy Award winner, to star. And he sent her on a promotional tour to select theaters. At the last minute, he had cardboard axes that were handed out to the patrons. He couldn't help himself. I Saw What You Did. Not last summer. I Saw What You Did, 1965. This was another Joan Crawford film, and it was initially promoted using giant plastic telephones because there's a big scene where there's a call in it. But after a rash of prank phone calls and complaints, the Bell Telephone Company monopoly refused Castle permission to use them or mention telephones. So he turned the back rows of the theaters into shock sections, and seat belts were installed to keep patrons from being jolted from their chairs in fright. 1975, there was a movie called Bug. Bug, okay? Just, let me see here. Let's see. I got to see who starred in this, because this was a big movie. Bradford Dillman, Joanna Miles, Patty McCormick is in this movie. Bug, I remember this movie. You should see it. It's a bad, good movie. It's a good, bad movie. He advertised a $1 million life insurance policy for the film's star, Hercules the Cockroach. Hercules the Cockroach. Yeah, he did all this stuff. Now, at the height of his popularity, William Castle had a fan club with 250,000 members. That's how popular he was. He was, yeah. Let's see here. We've got more comments from our chat room. Dupa was here. She was listening. Well, good, Dupa. I'm glad you got to hear that because you knew all about it in advance anyway. John Waters, little love for John Waters from Dupa-Doo. Rumpled Trenchcoat is here. If you're not watching Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast on YouTube listening, you're missing out. Go to one of the episodes, watch the Columbo episode first, listen to their recap. You will love it. He and his sister do an incredible job, and their chemistry is off the charts. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, is verified by independent sources. Sky is here. He says it's actually a really cool way to heighten the experience for the audience. It is. Let's see here. Rumpled Trenchcoat said they did remake 13 Ghosts. Pretty lame by comparison. I think they remade The House on Haunted Hill too. Well, I'll get to it. Because they do tell here later in my write-up which ones they remade. Rumpled Trenchcoat said Mr. Sardonicus was so good, Castle admitted they never even made a good ending because he figured no one will choose mercy for such a bad guy. Well, sometimes he said they never made one. Sometimes he said they did make one, but they never showed it. Other times he said they did make one, but they only rarely showed it. He would tell whatever story he needed to, to get the result he wanted. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, if he was born a few decades earlier, he would have been P.T. Barnum. Yes, I agree, and so does Doopa-Doopa-Doo. So since we're always right, all three of us, that's the way it is. Rosemary's Baby. Okay, directed by Roman Polanski, just a brilliant film. William Castle mortgaged his home again to obtain the movie rights to the novel written by Ira Levin, Rosemary's Baby. And he got the rights before it was published. He did that because he wanted to finally direct a prestigious A-level movie himself. Now, in his autobiography, Step Right Up, I'm going to Scare the Pants Off America, William Castle claimed that he was the second director to have been approached for the film project after Alfred Hitchcock. So he makes a deal with Paramount Pictures, then under their legendary head, Robert Evans. And Robert Evans insisted on hiring Roman Polanski. So William Castle has to settle for producing the film. He does have a cameo appearance in the film. He plays a guy in a phone booth when Rosemary's trying to use it to... Rosemary, by the way, played by Mia Farrow. She's trying to get in touch with her obstetrician, which is, if you know the plot of Rosemary's Baby, and from the title alone, you ought to be able to tell Obstetrician Calling was an important movie in the film. The thing is, he was unable to build on the just runaway success of Rosemary's Baby. He suffered kidney failure very soon after the film was released, and by the time he recovered, all the momentum had been lost, and he went back to making B movies. His most significant acting role was also his last, as the director of the doomed Waterloo epic in Day of the Locust. And that one, it's a satirical historical drama. Donald Sutherland, Karen Black, William Atherton, Burgess Meredith, Richard Dysart, John Hillerman, and Geraldine Page. Pretty good movie. William Castle died on May 31st, 1977 in Los Angeles, California. And he passed away of a heart attack. But he did leave quite the legacy. By the way, like, share. I would not be doing William Castle justice if I didn't say like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. Those things are free. They don't cost you, the moviegoer, a cent. And they help us with the algorithm. And we're always trying to please that algorithm. We also have super chats. We also have the memberships. And we got the PayPal, where you give the most, I get the most. Google gets nothing. In addition, you can go to the TomGulleyShow.com. And at the TomGulleyShow.com, our merch store is there. All this is in the description of the show, by the way, on YouTube. Incidentally, the TomGulleyShow.com, we are converting, as I mentioned at the start of the show, a bunch of our popular streaming shows, the most popular ones, into audio-only podcasts. I've got a few done. I'll have all of them, about 100 of them, done by the end of the week, if that's the kind of thing you're into. Some people like audio only better, and if you've got friends that do, or you do, the choice is yours. Alfred, and this is just some of the things in the legacy of William Castle. Okay, the legacy, the big legacy of William Castle. Alfred Hitchcock decided to make Psycho after he saw the success of 1950s B movies by William Castle. As I mentioned earlier, one of his biggest admirers is John Waters. And he said William Castle was my idol. His films made me want to make films. William Castle was God. William Castle was so important to John Waters that he portrayed William Castle in the episode Hagsploitation in the first season of the FX television anthology series Feud, which depicted the notorious rivalry between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, through the production and after of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Waters, who was playing Castle, appeared on stage in an Oklahoma theater in 1964, very over the top, introducing a screening of Straight Jacket with Jessica Lange as Joan Crawford, and proceeded down the aisle, wincing and wielding an axe past hooting teenagers. There you go. Some of you may be familiar with a director named Robert Zemeckis, who's probably pretty famous for being a part of the Back to the Future franchise. Robert Zemeckis is a biggie. He's got 2 Academy Awards, Golden Globe, Daytime Emmy, He directed Back to the Future, the whole trilogy. He directed Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He directed Forrest Gump, which got him an Academy Award for Best Director. He also won an Academy Award for a student film that he did. He directed Death Becomes Her, Contact, Castaway, Flight. So he's a biggie. And he calls William Castle his favorite filmmaker of all time. In fact, he co-founded Dark Castle Entertainment, and that company was intended to just remake William Castle films. They remade 2, House on Haunted Hill in 1999 and 13 Ghosts in 2001. He did that together with his daughter, Terry Ann Castle, as co-producer. I told you about the documentary focusing on his life, Spine Tingler, the William Castle story. It premiered at AFI Fest in 2007, and it won the Audience Award for Best Documentary. The protagonist in the 1993 film Matinee, directed by Joe Dante with Kathy Moriarty and others. Protagonist, played by John Goodman, is based on William Castle. Let's see here. We got some more of your wonderful comments. Another amazing film, Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby, according to Doopadoo, is wonderful. As always, Ruth Gordon was brilliant. William Castle has a very friendly face, says Doopa. That's true. That was no heart attack. The Tingler got him. Doopadoo said John Waters promoted polyester with Odorama, a scratch and sniff card that followed audiences to experience the movie's scents. Odors. John Waters couldn't wrap his head around why people would scratch some of the smells. Well, John Waters has said, we all saw what Divine did at the end of Pink Flamingos. I should actually do, as one of these shows, I should do Pink Flamingos. Do I got any more room on this? Where's my pen? Oh, there's Pink Flamingos. We're going to do a thing on Pink Flamingos. Pink Flamingos, yeah, whatever. As a director, I'm not going to mention all the movies he did because he did so many at Columbia as a, cranking them out, B-movie guy. The Mark of the Whistler, The Voice of the Whistler, The Whistler. He did 4 of them. He did Crime. I'm going to give you the most sensational titles as a director. Crime Doctor's Warning, Crime Doctor's Manhunt, The Crime Doctor's Gamble, a franchise there, The Gentleman from Nowhere, Johnny Stool Pigeon, Cave of Outlaws, Slaves of Babylon, The Iron Glove, Jesse James versus the Daltons, The Law versus Billy the Kid, The Gun That Won the West, Uranium Boom. And then he went on his own and he did Macabre, House on Haunted Hill, The Tingler, 13 Ghosts, Homicidal, Mr. Sardonicus, Zots, 13 Frightened Girls, all in a row, unbroken. The Old Dark House, yes, It's a remake. Straight Jacket, I Saw What You Did. Let's Kill Uncle. Project X starred Christopher George, Henry Jones, Monty Markham. Shanks, horror film about a puppeteer able to manipulate dead bodies like puppets. Starred Marcel Marceau. As a producer, Lady from Shanghai, Macabre, all the ones I mentioned earlier. Rosemary's Baby being really the only one not on that list. He also did a movie called Riot, starring Gene Hackman and Jim Brown. Did a number of movies as writer. He wrote Bug, which is hilarious. And then as an actor, a lot of times he was himself, right? He played Sid Roth in the Warren Beatty movie Shampoo. But he was in a lot of his own movies. Now he doesn't get a lot of notoriety for this, but he did direct and produce television. And he did The Man Called X. The Man Called X was the conversion of a very popular radio show. He did science fiction theater, an episode called Who Is This Man? He did 2 episodes of The Californians, which was kind of a Western. He did an episode of Man with a Camera, which was a Charles Bronson TV show. Charles Bronson was the star of it. Yeah. And he produced a number of television programs as well. So there you are. Let's get to some of your chat. Here he is, 1946. At Columbia Pictures, doing 1946 Columbia Picture things. Stribs is here, says, howdy, Tom. Howdy back to you. Goat says, the Tingler. Well, just for you, Goat, I'll put the graphic I have up for the Tingler. There you go. Rumple Trenchcoat says, Let's Kill Uncle is such a great movie. I got a copy on Blu-ray for my other sister. She's closer to my age, and we watched that movie a ton as kids. Well, in the spirit of Let's Kill Uncle, I might as well. 1966 black comedy psycho thriller about a young boy trapped on an island by his uncle who's planning to kill him. The boy's only friend is a young girl who tries to help him. Well, there we go. They all try to kill each other. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Who's the stars of this? Nigel Green as the uncle, English actor. Mary Badham as Chrissy. She's an American actress who played Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird. What do you know? What do you know? Linda Lawson, Ref Sanchez, Nestor Pavia, jeez, and William Castle as Russell Harrison. What do you know? Let's see here. People saying hi. Again, we do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Tomorrow night, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse happened in Tampa. And then on Thursday, we'll be having the still unsolved, unexplained disappearance of college student Lauren Spirer. Like a lot of these disappearances, it is as frustrating as it is baffling. They've got video of this girl to beat the band. They kind of know where she was. I'm telling you, you will be outraged once you hear all the details. I can't emphasize that enough. So that is all I got to tell you about William Castle. Although what I could do You know what a fella could do? A fella could continue playing the trailer where he left off of Mr. Sardonicus. That's what hoping like crazy this music isn't copyrighted, or I will have to cut it out of the movie, out of the show.
Mr. Sardonicus. What makes his name strike terror?
Sardonicus?
Why were you frightened?
Sir, you would not understand.
Man, I'm nervous. I'm nervous just thinking about it. Let's see if William Castle's at the end of it, because, yeah, I think we can get away with William Castle, but the music always... Man, they will mess you up on some music, let me tell you. They will. They'll hurt you. Here, let's check this out.
Mr.
Music.
Sardonicus, in spite of all his cruelties, some people will think he deserves mercy. Others will feel that no punishment could be too severe. When you come to see Mr. Sardonicus, you will receive a ballad like this. At a certain point in the picture, you will vote thumbs up or thumbs down. His punishment will depend on the result of your vote.
Music. Can't have the music. Hopefully they don't nail me for that. I might go crazy and dispute it and say, well, the fair use, it's transformative. I'm commenting on it, which I am. You saw me. I was right here. I was doing that. I was commenting on it and stuff for things and whatnot. So let's see here. Rumpled Trenchcoat says Mr. Sardonicus honestly still holds up pretty well. A lot of these movies do. The Tingler, even with all of its schlock, it holds up pretty good. It's in Percepto, you know. It's actually in Percepto. Homicidal is, how can I put it? And Straight Jacket, both of them, they hold up as what they are. They're psychological thrillers. And if you like a psychological thriller, you're going to like the movie. If you don't, well, then you're in big trouble. Rumpled Trenchcoat says you can't go wrong with Vincent Price. Yeah, he had Vincent Price in a bunch of his movies. A bunch of them. But for what they are, they really do hold up well. Doopadoo says RTC agree. He was actually a great actor. Well, Vincent Price, for the love of Mike, was, let me see here. Oh, there we go. Boom. Vincent Price was a big movie star. He was on all the big radio shows of the time. He's in some big movies. The Song of Bernadette, which doesn't sound like much to you guys maybe, but The Song of Bernadette, that was a big, giant movie. Big, giant movie. Big one. Hold on. Reception. It was nominated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Academy Awards. All right. It won for Best Actress, Jennifer Jones. It won for Best Art Direction. It won for Best Cinematography. It won for Best Score. It won 4 Academy Awards. Song of Bernadette. Vincent Price was in it. He was in Laura, which is a famous, film noir movie. He was in Keys of the Kingdom, Leave Her to Heaven, Dragonwyck. He was in The Three Musketeers with Gene Kelly and Lana Turner. Of course, he was in The Ten Commandments, super evil. And then he was in all the horror stuff, of course, House of Wax, The Fly, Return of the Fly, The Tingler, Last Man on Earth, which later became Omega Man, and we've seen the Will Smith version of it. Witchfinder General, which is kind of a cult film, but it's brilliant. Oh my God, The Abominable Dr. Phibes. And the sequel to it, Dr. Phibes, is amazingly good in a kind of a campy way. He was in all the Edgar Allan Poe adaptations, House of Usher, Pit and the Pendulum, The Haunted Palace, Mask of the Red Death, Egghead on Batman, did a lot of voices, wrote a ton of books on art, and he was a just renowned gourmet cook and cookbook author. Yeah, man. He was a dude. Vincent Price was a dude, man. He really was. He was a guy. Let me see if I can find some other movies he was in that maybe didn't meet the top of the... He was in The Long Night, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and he played the Invisible Man. This is 1948 when he was a really big star. And like I said, was on lots of the radio variety shows and stuff. He played the evil Count Richelieu in The Three Musketeers, The Las Vegas Story. That was a suspenseful film noir with Victor Mature and Jane Russell. Dangerous Mission. That's a thriller with, again, Victor Mature, Piper Laurie, William Bendix. He was a big guy. He was a big dude. Big actor. He was in The Big Circus, which was a drama. Victor Mature again. They must have been friends. I don't know. Who can say for sure? Who can say? Oh my God, he's in one of my very very favorite campy movies. 1965, Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. Vincent Price, Frankie Avalon, Dwayne Hickman from The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, Susan Hart, Jack Mulaney. If you've never seen Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine or the sequel, Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs, you are missing out, man. He was in Scream and Scream Again. It's a pretty good movie. Let me see. He was in The Monster Club with John Carradine. He's the narrator for Michael Jackson's Thriller. He was in a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. I'm not even going to go through his TV. His TV is way too extensive to list. Let's see, we got more of your commentary and onanism. Somebody says they're late. They'll rewatch. Thanks for keeping us posted. Don't let the Tingler get you. Thank you for the $5, Rumpled Trenchcoat. Rumpled Trenchcoat understands that this is not wholly a commercial venture, but it is nice occasionally to get a little something for the effort. And he's very, 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 very generous. You're all generous with your time, though, so that's great. That's wunderbar. Let me put the Tingler back up. He just looks so beset by the Tingler there, does it? Vincent Price. People saying hi. Rumpled Trenchcoat says Laura was wonderful. Price was playing against type in that one. Isn't that with the famous song Laura from that movie? Laura is the girl with the moon and eye. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, Dr. Fibes is the reason my wife can't sleep on her back. The cricket murder stuck with her forever. You mean when they put the chlorophyll or whatever on the nurse's face after giving her the sedative? The really good-looking nurse. And then the locusts eat the... Yeah. Oh, no, yes. Christian Slater said, did I miss any spider content? Well, you missed me playing the song, but I'm going to play it again at the end of the show, Christian. So people saying hi and showing their spiders. Dupa says, I have not seen Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. It's very post Beach Blanket Bingo. It's kooky. It's hilarious. It's a way to see girls in bikinis. People saying hi. Christian Slater. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, yeah, that's the scene. I'm Sky says, can we get a play of the OG song after the Spiders too? Which one is the OG song? I've got 9 songs here or something. The guy just keeps cranking them out. I don't know which one you're referring to. Frankly, I don't know what song you're talking about. You're going to have to be more specific. You're going to have to hurry, too, because I'm about to get out of here. For the love of Mike. They call me Mr. Gulley. Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm going to be able to conjure that up for you. Oh. The things I do. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on, StreamYard. Oh, here we go. Daggone it. Yeah, but I'm going to have to show the video. I'll show the video and then I'll play the spider song. That's probably the best way to do that. So I'm looking at that old clock on the wall, and like the Reverend Al Green, it's time for me to get up on out of here. You don't have to stay here, but you can't go home. Sorry, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you all for being here. Tomorrow night, Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse. And then Friday, Lauren Spira disappeared. You're going to be mad. If no, no worries. Classic StreamYard limitation. It's not that. It's just talking about Pervitine. Yeah. Well, without further ado, I guess the only thing left to say is, by the way, thank you, Rumpled Trenchcoat, for our only donation of the evening. It's very much appreciated. And JC says, great show, Tom. Yes, says you. Anyway, let me make everybody happy. Video file. Okay. Till next time. We'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. They call me Mr. Gulley. I've got something for your ear. Now it might sound kind of funny, but I'll make it very clear. So what we talking about? We're talking about dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride, leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage, silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new